Hi there, it is Monday, September 28th. This is English Language Arts. My name is Mr. Newman, and this is our class recap. So we begin class, as we always do, with the planner. What I would like you to do today is to open the planner on your screen. The way you're going to do that is find in the classwork tab, you're going to go down to the week of September 28th and open today's entry, which is Monday, collaboration groups. Okay. In here, you will see the planner for 9/28/20. Go ahead and open that and record your planner agenda. You can pause the video while you do that. Okay, welcome back. I believe you have recorded your planner so far. So let's look at the planner itself. Here it is right here. We're going to start class with a Quickwrite. The Quickwrite is, you're going to write it on page W7 in your notebook. And the question in this one is credited to Devaney Birkinshaw, who proposed it. It is, what is your most prized possession and why? Share a story involving this object. So what is your most prized possession and why? Share a story involving this object. So at this point, you are going to pause, and then on this slide that you have open on your computer, you're going to hit the play button in the upper right-hand corner, and that will set the 6-minute timer. Again, you are writing on W7. At the end of your Quickwrite, keep your notebook open, but then come back to this video and hit play again. I will pause while you do that. All right, so you are coming back at the end of your Quickwrite. Before we move on, I'm just going to read the criteria for your Quickwrite and think if there's anything else you need to add. So I am on page W2 on the notes that you've taken, and I have a strong Quickwrite is, so the question is clear in the response. You've addressed all parts of the prompt, and in this one there are 3 things. Okay, you've written at least 3/4 of a page. Your prompt shows what you are thinking. It involves examples, and it makes connections with your life. Okay. If you've done all those things, you have a really strong Quickwrite. Good job. So let's look at other parts of our planner slide. So the next one is an announcement. Our Meets focus this week is on demonstrating learning readiness. And I want to take you to the Google Meets protocol in the Hanby 8th grade website. So last week's grade was based on demonstrate active participation. And what I looked for is that you were using the chat appropriately and that you participated in class activities. So it was a 10-point grade. Half of your grade was, are you using the chat appropriately? And generally, an appropriate chat is that if I'm talking like I am now, you're not posting things in the chat. Okay, what happens is that pops up on other people's screen. It's distracting for them. It's distracting for me. When you do have questions or when I ask for your response, that's a great time to use the chat. So I looked at that, and then I looked at the 3 Padlets that we did, the realistic fiction, the science fiction, and the how was your week? And I looked for your name. And if you were posting on the Padlet during class, you got credit there too. So good job. Okay, so this week we are focused on demonstrating learning readiness. And so what this means is that you are on time and prepared at the start of class. That when the class period begins, you turn on your camera. There may be other times during the period, like when you're writing, when I ask for your camera to be on. It's not that I'm trying to stalk you. It's just that I learn a lot about you when you're not looking. So when you write, you start and stop, you look around, there are things like that. And that helps me learn about what you're thinking about as you write. Okay. If you're able to, at the start of class, open all the tabs that are going to be required. So for example, if you looked at this week, for today, you would have, and this is first period, so we had the bulletin. At the start of class, you would open Google Classroom. You'd open the planner in a separate tab. You'd open this thing that says Block 1 Collaboration Groups in another tab, and the bulletin in yet another. So that just as I'm doing on the screen where I can tab back and forth between different things, you can do that as well without having to wait for something to load. Okay. So demonstrate learning readiness, be on time, turn on your camera, open your resource links. The last thing is get distractions out of the way. Okay. In front of me, I have my notebook on this side. I've got, they're actually right over here, but I have a reading book over here. And then right here, I've got a pencil or a pen and a notepad that I make notes on while I write. And that's it. There's nothing else around me. There's nothing to distract me. I've got my phone. It's like way over here. Okay, so sitting on a charger, I'm not looking at it. If you can sit at a table, great. If not, wherever you sit, make sure you are sitting up straight and be ready to go. So that is our meets goal for this week. Okay. So the last kind of reminder is your homework between now and tomorrow is that in a minute, you're going to get your collaboration groups. And I want you to establish a contact strategy with your collaboration partners before class tomorrow. Okay, so establish a contact strategy before class tomorrow. What this means is that when we start, you all are going to be in groups working on a group project. You need a way to talk while you're writing at the same time. So for some of you, this is going to be, we're going to experiment with Google Meets in class, but it may be that you're talking on the phone or something like that. So you need to contact the people in your group so that you know. And a good way to contact them is to write their first and last name into email and then click on the little magnifying glass and it'll look up their name and then you can send them an email. So think about if you're doing it, via a voice call while you work together on the computer, whether you're going to try to set up something else digital or how you're going to do it. Okay. So when we look at our goal for today, it's to apply for a Jackson County Library card. If you already have one of these, you can confirm by logging in. If you don't have one, here's how you do it. Okay. We're going to leave September 28th, and we're going to go up to the top where it says Jackson County Library Book Checkout. There are 2 links here. 1, to set up an eCard. 2, to log in. Now, the great thing about the Jackson County Library system is that you can get books from all over the county. And there's a gazillion of them compared to Hanby. If you think about my screen, like the Hanby library is like, it's like this little tip of a dot over here. And this whole width, that's like the Jackson County Library system. So they've got, hundreds of thousands of books. And they're at different branches, and you can get them from any of them. They have audiobooks, they have ebooks, they have all these different things, and books on a lot of topics. So to apply, if you already have a card, you'll be able to go to login, or you can just wait. To apply for a card, you're going to click where it says Medford Library Branch. And when this opens, you are going to select your home library. So most of you, that is going to be Gold Hill, unless you live in Eagle Point or in Central Point. Okay, so then it says, what's your zip code? Enter your zip code. If you're not sure what it is, go find a piece of mail in your house. It's on there. Click continue. So you're going to get a screen, and you need to do this on yours. I'm just modeling it. It says complete the online application to get your card. You need to fill out all the boxes that have this little red star next to them, that thing right there. Okay, scrolling down. Where people have come into Hangouts today is when they get to the password. So your username, is whatever you set it. The password has to be numeric. So it can only be numbers. My advice to you is choose an old phone number. Choose the last 4 digits of your grandma's phone number. Something like that. I think that would be, something that you can remember easily. Could be the last 4 digits of your phone number, but you'd be giving it away to other people. When you're done, click submit. If you already have a library card, it will tell you, sorry, someone exists in the system. If you don't have a library card, you now have a username and password, which takes you to the next step, which is right here, where you click to log in to the Jackson County Library. Okay, so when you click on that, you're going to get a screen that looks like this. Okay, and that's where you enter your username and password. If you're having trouble logging in, you can click down on the right where it says trouble logging in, click here for help. And this will bring up lots of things that you can do. But ultimately, if you don't know your username or password and you don't have a library card, you're going to have to contact the library. And I think 30 kids have done this today. Go ahead and call the library and just say, hey, I think I have a library card. I need help. Okay. So that's how you log in. Let's look at what the library has to offer. So one thing that's cool when you log in is that it shows you books that you've requested that you can go get. And it also shows you books that you've already read. So these are books that I've read in the last several months, and they're on here, and I can scroll down and see more. And so it's a good way for you tracking, and especially when you add it and when you finish it and things like that. But what I like to do here is I go up to the top where it says search the catalog, and I go by the title. And if we go back to our Padlet from Realistic Fiction, there were a lot of books that came up several times. One of them was The Fault in Our Stars, which is, I think we can all agree, a really good book. Okay? But if I want to search for this in the Jackson County Library System, let's look at how to do that. So I'm here, I'm going to search the catalog for the title, and I type in The Fault in Our Stars. And then I go and hit the little magnifying glass. So what we see that comes up here is that there are lots of these available. So there's the standard book. There is an audiobook. And while we're on this topic, an audiobook can count for one book in each genre. So you could listen to a historical fiction audiobook and a fantasy audiobook and a mystery audiobook and a memoir audiobook, and those would all count. Okay. There are 5 ebooks. They're all out, and one person is waiting in line. But you can get it on a Kindle or a Nook or something like that. If you don't have one of those things, but you do have a smartphone, there is a free Kindle app that you can get on both Android and iOS, which means that everyone with a smartphone has a Kindle. So there's also, like, you can rent the DVD, you can get the soundtrack. I mean, there's all sorts of things on here. It's available in Spanish. And all these things are there, and you can search for, title, you can search for keywords. But people ask, does the library cost anything? And the answer is yes, but you've already paid for it. So anyone who owns property in Jackson County pays taxes which go to the library, which means you've already paid for it. You might as well use it. Okay. So these are things you can find at the library. In about 2 weeks, I'm going to ask you to check out a book or show me that you've checked out a book from the Jackson County Library. It's a good time to get started now. Please let me know if you have any questions. The rest of the period is for reading. This is today's recap. Have a great day.